Don't judge me on my eyebrows. I'm letting them grow out so that I can get them threaded and shaped the way that I want them for the fall and winter. So here goes with the tutorial on the Urban Decay Pulp Fiction palette. And this one is $16 and it is still available at both Sephora and Nordstrom. No, not Nordstrom, Sephora and Ulta, and possibly the Urban Decay website. So I've already done one eye. I've already completed some foundation and blush and stuff, and I will just jump into the other eye. Bear with me and let's see how this turns out. I am going to talk through. So first and foremost, I'm going to use my Sigma airbrush blender, the F63, and I'm gonna dip that into Vengeance, which is the bottom color right there at the bottom. And I'm going to do windshield wiper motions, kind of like a transition / crease color. I'm not gonna be super you know, I'm just gonna throw it on there. You know, if you want to be super precise, you certainly can, but I want to get it in there. And you're gonna touch this color a couple times. So I did notice that there is a bit of fallout in the shadows, so do make sure that when you're using these shadows that you tap them off. So secondly, I'm going to take my Sigma E52, the soft focus shader, and I'm going to dip that one into Tyranny, which is at the top left. And that one is going to go right here all over the lid, and I'm just going to pack it. And none of these shadows I'm using wet. I'm just using them all dry, and I'm just gonna give you kind of a quick look that can go from day to evening, happy hour, etc. So when that's done, I'm gonna go back to my shading brush. I'm not gonna add any extra shadow, and I'm just gonna windshield wiper it just to make sure everything is blended nice and perfect. So thirdly, I'm going to take my E40, the tapered blending brush, and I'm gonna toss that into Righteous and knock it off a bit, and that is gonna go right above that that transition or that crease color, Vengeance, just to give me a bit of a softer look and to transition that for me. So you can see it kind of coming together. And there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, this is just a quick look that I threw together. This, after posting my haul and all that good stuff, there were so many people that were like, oh my gosh, we want to see, we want to see. So because I want to keep that Tyranny, the color that it is, I continue to go in and pack that on throughout, because of course it will fall. But the key is to blend, blend, blend. When you think you've blended enough, blend a little bit more. So there we go. Now with my angled Wet n Wild brush, I'm going to go into that half color of Furious, which is the black, and definitely pop that off, because that black is definitely black. And watch, I'm going to just take it right there in the crease and sweep it over, because we're not in the outer V a little bit, because we're not doing a cut crease, but we want to give our crease full definition, if you know what I mean. So then with our blending brush again, no additional product, we're just gonna go back and forth and back and forth. And make sure there's no harsh lines. That's the most important part. Making sure that there's no harsh lines. Did you see it coming together? Looks so good. And then of course, like I told you, we're gonna go back in with our flat and we're gonna pop that tyranny still in there. Again, making sure we keep that lighter color on the lid because that's what's gonna make our entire look pop. And make sure you do get any excess shadow off because you don't want any to fall. And these aren't extremely powdery because you don't see a lot of fallout. I've already put on my other makeup, so I was okay with that. So now, to go into some of the fun stuff, I'm going to take that bottom one there, which is Anger, and that's more of a white shade because it's a contrast to the black. This one you definitely need to pop off, and I'm gonna pop that right in the inner corner. And that's just going to brighten my eye look up a little bit. Just to pop that right in the inner corner, bring it down a little bit, and make it look good. Alrighty. So next, I'm going to take my Real Techniques accent brush, which is super duper little. It's a mini little pencil brush, and I'm going to take that into Vengeance, of course, and I'm going to run that under my lash line, and I'm just going to run it all the way across until it meets the the lighter color, the Anger color, just to kind of give me that under eye goodness there. And of course, blend, 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 just to make sure I get it right where I want it. Right where I want it. But you can definitely see the colors extremely blended together, which is, I like that. And it just gives you that perfect pop. This one's a little bit darker, but that's okay. It's easier to darken it up than it is to, you know, make it lighter. And the good thing about these shadows is that they don't really oxidize. So what you see is what you get. Just make sure that you know what you're doing and what you're going for. So of course, I told you we're gonna be packing on that tyranny, and I just wanna make sure that it pops. And this one, there's no blending, just pat it, pat it, pat it. It's looking good, looking good. Thumbs up if you love blending. I know I do. That's one of the most fun parts, is to see your work come alive through blending. And you can see we have our inner tear duct done there. So now that I think I'm pretty satisfied with the eyes, I'm gonna go into some liner, which is, of course, I'm using my Commit to 5 by the 22nd before the Snowfly. So I'm using my Tarte Inner Rim Liner, and I'm just gonna pull it down a little bit. And I'm gonna line that black all the way across, just to give us that night mood there. And then of course it's an inner rim liner, but I use it for both. So I'm also gonna toss it on my upper lash line. I'm not using falsies for this look, so this works because it is a great liner. It's waterproof, and once you get it on there, it won't move, and it's very bold. So yeah. And I don't want an extremely thick line. I'm definitely not going for a wing or a cat eye look. I just want this to be soft and subtle to a certain extent, but have smoke effects. So that you can wear it daytime and then kind of jazz it up at night or for happy hour. Of course, you may not feel comfortable wearing the dark eyeliner to work, which is fine. But just wear your nude or your taupe or your eye brightener in your rim, your waterline, to keep your eyes bright, and then when you're ready, subdue it down with some of that black, hunty. Let it be known. So my final step is I'm gonna throw on a couple of coats of mascara, and today I'm using one of my favorites, the Revlon Lash Potion, and I'm gonna use that on top and bottom, and I will apply a couple coats to that. I won't bore you guys with that, but I just want you to know what it looks like. So I'm gonna do that, but stay tuned, because I will give you some updates.